Hey, my name's John Fugh, and I'm continuing the conversation about whether or not collegiate athletes should be paid. So the first thing I want to bring up is that the NCAA makes huge amount of profit on these college athletes. So the NCAA stands for the National College Athletic Association, and this association makes more than $1.1 billion on these athletes. And that's ticket sales, that's them using the players' rights to sell jerseys, that's them selling games to TV networks like ABC, CBS, ESPN. And this is straight from USA Today, this number and these profits. Also, the NCAA even talks about how much of a time commitment it is to be a collegiate athlete. So they spend upwards of 85 hours most of the time doing what they do so that they can put out that kind of production on the field wherever they're at. So they'll spend 45 hours or so. The average college athlete will spend like 45 hours or so just practicing, getting ready, preparation, watching film, all of that. And they'll spend an additional 40 hours a week just studying for their classes as they're a full-time student as well. And if you think about it, 85 hours a week you're spending to one thing and you're not even getting compensated for it, this would be a little bit frustrating to a college athlete, understandably so. Just the huge time commitment that it is. So also the NCAA even talks about how hard it is for them to become a professional athlete. Less than 2% of athletes make it to the pros. And this is straight from the NCAA website. They did the math and everything. How hard it is to make it to where you're going to get compensated. And that 2% include the people that are in like the developmental programs like the minor leagues for baseball, the G League for basketball. And those people don't make nearly as much as the professionals do, but they still get compensated to the point where they could definitely make a living off what they do. So if they're spending 85 hours a week and the NCAA is turning on $1.1 billion profit and only 2% are making it, the other 98% are spending their time at college, wasting away prime time for them to be making money for the future. So these are arguments against them being compensated. So basically, the NCAA already gives out scholarships to these athletes. $2.2 billion the NCAA is on record for giving out for Division I and Division II athletes only. And Division I and Division II are like the top two tiers. There is Division III as well, but hardly anybody watches or like views Division III, so they don't even really give out any scholarships for those colleges. So also the athletes themselves made the choice themselves to be a college athlete. Nobody's forcing them to be a college athlete, and nobody's telling them that they have to be. It's just something they chose, and it's almost in a sense volunteer work. So the NCAA is trying to turn a profit as well. They are a business and they are a corporation and an association, whatever you want to call them. They are a for-profit industry. They are trying to do whatever they can to turn a profit, and if they are giving out money to these athletes, then that's less money in their pockets and less money that they get to have at the end of the day. And it just doesn't make sense with business to just give out money if you don't have to people. So the conclusion, I think there's really no easy solution. It's a lose-lose either way for both the athletes and the corporation. So if the athletes end up getting paid, the corporation loses money. And if the corporation gets to keep all their money, the athletes are losing out. in the long run because they don't get any money in their pockets at the end of the day. So I personally think that the NCAA should give money to elite prospects, which an elite prospect's considered a top 100 prospect. So if you're within the top 100 in your sport, you're given this like elite prospect status. And so if you're in the top 100, I think you should get paid. And I think that's a compromise for both sides, as usually only top 100 athletes are bringing viewership to the NCAA. Anyways, they want the big names, the big stars, so that they can get a big market and a lot of views. So here's my works cited. A lot of it comes straight off of the NCAA website, and the other comes off of USA Today, talking about the Wall Street of NCAA. And thank you for listening to my presentation on whether or not collegiate athletes should be paid.